Hi, in this lecture, we shall be discussing about economic system and their models which are capitalist, socialist and mixed economic model. So let's get started. First of all, we need to know what an economic system is. An economic system is basically concerned with allocation of scarce resources in the economy and fulfillment of the certain wants of the public in the market. So as we study an economic system, we shall be studying who allocates these resources in the economy or who owns these resources in the economy, how these resources are further distributed, how production and distribution is carried on, how does the wealth policy is framed. Does it allow for wealth concentration or does it aim at wealth redistribution in the economy? How does the business operate in an economy, as well as who are the various agents who sum up as an economic system? For instance, there can be private companies, there can be public sector enterprises as well, there can be government agencies that influence the economic system through their certain policies. The economic systems have broadly three main types. These are capitalist, socialist, and mixed economic model or economic system. Under the capitalist system, the market forces are the dominant forces that decide how the resources are to be allocated as well as distributed in the economy. Basically, whoever has the capacity to pay can buy the resources or can buy the goods and services. On the other hand, in socialist economic model, it is the government that allocates the resources. It is the government that also owns those resources. And it is the government that determines the objective of economic model or the economic system. Under the mixed economic system, the functions of economic growth are performed by both the public sector as well as the private sector. We shall be learning about each of these systems in the further slides. Under a capitalist economic model, almost everything is virtually decided by the market forces themselves. So what actually happens in a capitalist economic model, as we see in Western countries or developed countries like USA, Canada, UK, etc., or even EU as the European Union, the resources are generally owned by the private individuals or private corporations rather than the government itself. And the market forces of demand and supply determine how the purchase and sale of goods and services is to be carried on. They determine the flow of factors of production as well. This economic model is actually based on Adam Smith's model of economic growth, wherein he advocated that the market functions are not the functions of government. It is the demand and supply or the animal forces that determine the economic growth or exchange in the economy. On the other hand, in a socialist economy, which is influenced by the ideas of socialism as well as Marxism, the objective of the economic system is welfare of the public rather than the profit motive of the private sectors. Here it is the government that will be owning the resources and also allocating such resources for the welfare of the public. In a socialist economic model, the government may undertake public sector enterprises for this welfare objective of the people. Here the driving force is needs of the people rather than what they want to and what they can afford to. Thirdly, there is a mixed system which basically is based on both the market economic model as well as the socialist model. Under this model, the government may carry on the planning function. It may lay down certain objectives for the private sector to achieve while also carrying those functions through its own agencies like public sector undertakings. At times, there can be public-private partnership enterprises as well in the mixed economic model. Post-independence, the policymakers in India found this model of mixed economy as most suitable for India due to the peculiar situation of Indian economy at that point. For instance, we had very low per capita income at the time of independence. A large portion of the population was impoverished during the colonial era. Most of the population depended on primary sector for its livelihood. For instance, almost 70% of the population depended on agriculture alone. There was high birth rate and high death rate as well. There were very few health facilities available in the rural or the remote areas of the country. In fact, large population of the country lived in the rural areas only. There was severe unemployment in the